Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed my last video. Here is another guest and an interesting topic. Hi Miss Jiva, how are you?
Hi Maya. Thanks for having me here. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Thank you. First question to you is, what are the differences between sexual harassment and sexual assault? Well, of course, we're going to talk on civility based on it.
Yes. Well, the point is sexual harassment and sexual assault. Well, one will lead to the other. Sexual harassment will eventually lead to a sexual assault. So, but our discussion or my discussion here today is going to be from the point of civility at workplace and how this behavior, sexual harassment, actually causes incivility at workplace.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. What is sexual harassment?
Sexual harassment is actually a conduct where it includes a few behavior or few characters or advances that are made. That's even including of touching.
Okay.
That could even include choices of words or jokes or being used. Sometimes it could also relate to small advances used, probably like materials being displayed or certain nudging or touching. Could also lead to a sexual harassment.
How do we actually know which touch is, you know?
Okay.
I mean, it's a very thin line.
Yes.
Because of in society these days we are kind of like takes everything is very jovial way. We in our workplace, men and women, we work together at all time.
Yes.
So how do we limit that? How do we have a boundary to say, hey, this touch is, not supposed to happen?
Okay, that could be a few ways how we should look at it. When certain things are happening, for instance, we call this incivility for few reasons. For instance, in an interview,
Okay.
If someone talks about your wardrobe, making advances that you have got a lovely purple top, or secondly, if they asked you when you're going to have a child, that is not a related topic
To the interview.
That's making an advance. Or when an employee is being treated hostile or being poorly treated as not performing because she did not participate in the sexual advances. When sorry, I'm not being sex gender here, it could be a she or he here. Or there could be also probably be in a communication, or there'd be a display of sexual offences materials around. So these are some of the things that you could probably feel that when someone already feels that I am not feeling comfortable about it, I think this person is saying things is offending to me. This could all relate to a point where someone is being sexually harassed. At the point of touching, all right, we need to understand, is the person touching you at the safe sex zone?
Okay.
Is the person at your personal space? All right. If this is within that limitation, then it's not sexual harassment. Okay. But if the person is going beyond, and you know this is not giving you any kind of comfort, then yes, high chances you are within that zone of sexual harassment.
When they know that it's sexual harassment, when it's too late to act?
When the sexual harassment has gone into a sexual assault, it's definitely late to react, because there could be many reasons where the person would have thought it's okay. I'm talking about the offender here, who might have thought that it's okay. That person has accepted because it has taken you a period of time to actually react to this. Yeah. So to avoid all that, the moment if you feel you're not comfortable, then it's a point to react. See, the main reason why people sometimes think it's okay, I'm talking about the offender, because they are insensitive to the social radar. Meaning they are insensitive whether the person is feeling comfortable or not comfortable. This is easily proven in body language. You can see, body language tells you about how the person feels, how the person reacts. It shows, the body language shows. If the other person is not sensitive to that, then I would say that person does not understand, does not accept. There is intolerance, there's unacceptance in the environment of he or she is.
You have no rejection of a communication at a closed space. How do you handle that?
When there is no rejection, that means there is acceptance from the other person. That means the other person has welcomed the kind of communication you make, the kind of advances you make. eventually it will lead to a mutually accepted communication between the both. You see, as being an adult, I think, and also being with our upbringing and our culture, we all have what we like and what we don't like. So if you see there is an acceptance and there's a mutually adult people who accept such a communication, then it's fine and good. Then the word sexual harassment should not come in place. Okay, there is no space for that. But the moment you see rejections, you see lack of tolerance, and you see that person's getting disturbed or they're going distance, then that's when the distance starts. Then you should understand this topic may not be for them. This coming forward to the personal space, coming closer to the personal space may not be an acceptance. So sometimes it is not the fault of the offender, because that person may think it's okay, because that's the person's tolerance level. But to the other person may feel that person is an offender because that person has a lower tolerance. So I wouldn't even want to differentiate between the high tolerance and low tolerance. I would say that in the workplace, mutually respected working environment, there should be a common understanding that you are there for a purpose, which is doing your job. So you must have that mutually respected relationship. Why? You need to work with the person. End of the day, you got to like that person. The end of the day, the performance needs to still go on, and the return of investment of every employee needs to be seen in the organization. So that's why this is what I call civility at workplace. I mean, more and more people are talking about incivility environment, or the person don't speak well, the person has a tone when he speaks. But why even we go deep into talking about incivility when we could be the reason why we could make the change?
Because I think most of the men or women are facing these issues is because we don't know how to pull back when we know that we're not comfortable.
Yes.
Just because they could be your bosses, they could be your direct superior. So you don't know how to take you back or take you out of the situation.
All right. For a start, you must accept that a situation happened to you. All right. I know it's a very difficult situation to accept. Oh, I could have been in a situation where I've been sexually harassed. Well, acceptance is the most important thing. Secondly is go to the person and tell them you're not feeling comfortable. You're not feeling comfortable probably with the choice of words, probably with the jokes made, maybe with that body contact, touching, nudging. Maybe you can say you find that materials put on the table is offensive. That's the first step, if you feel. And on top of that, just for your safety, I said have it reported. Okay? Because have it reported, have it written, and have it verbally communicated to the Human Resource Department or to your direct boss on top. Okay? And that is steps that you need to take. Alright? To have an acceptance that this has happened to you. Yeah.
Okay, இப்போ let's say ஆஃபீஸ் ஸ்பேஸ்னு எடுத்துக்கிறோம். இப்போ வந்து ஒரு டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டில் வந்து ஒரு பெண்ணுக்கு இது வந்து happen, right? Which department she directly can get in touch?
Okay, first is speaking to the person who he or she thinks is the offender. Secondly is the department head, if that person is not the department head. Okay. Thirdly is you must go and report it to the human resource. That is a must do. Keeping it quiet and speaking to other colleagues, don't let it be a culture of the department of the organization.
Yes.
Okay, don't make it as a culture unless that is the culture, which rarely happens. That is not the culture. Normally people of every race or gender finds it very discomfort to come and speak about this subject matter because they find it very embarrassing. They go into like, why me, not you? Don't go into the blame mode. Just understand one thing, this has happened to me. I'm here to work. If you decide to work with that culture, are you able to work there long and still perform and do what you want for the reason why you came there? Or you think that, no, I'm not comfortable with this, then go forward. Alright? Go forward.
Fear of consequence. It is, or shame, the main reason why the victim don't want to come forward to sooner or to report.
Shame is always the reason. As I was saying earlier, the victim will go into saying like, why me? The why me thing will come first. In many situations, we all could have been a victim of sexual harassment. நம்மளுக்கு maybe realize பண்ணியிருக்கோம், maybe we would not have realized as well. So, but the thing is, but today more and more awareness are coming. The topic is being discussed very openly nowadays. You see, if you go on social media, people actually say such a thing has happened. Sometimes smallest matter, choice of words, using foul language or vulgar words. So, if you think you cannot accept that, then it is already sexual harassment. And of course, even at a work environment, there is really no need for a lot of physical connection. How close proximity. So the moment you know this has happened to you, don't allow it to be a culture. Don't allow it to be a practice. See, the person who is making the first mistake is the victim.
Yeah.
You feel shy, you go into blaming mode, why this has happened to me. This why me thing, I'm feeling very embarrassed. Okay, and you go into blaming, maybe I didn't speak well, maybe I didn't use right choice of word, maybe my dressing probably found it too interesting for the other person. We go into this blame mode. Why don't you be the change? Don't go into the blaming mode. Go into
Don't
a point.
don't go into the trap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would you say, let me make the change? Maybe there is a culture has been started in the past, or this person may have a track record of behaving such, right?
Manner.
But nobody has come forward to actually, made a complaint about it. So why don't you go out and just make a report out of it? Go forward to the person and say, I am not feeling comfortable with the way you spoke to me or how you conducted me. All right, go up and tell the person. If you think the person did not make a change, all right, he and she said, it's okay, all right, then you have to safeguard yourself and make a complaint about it, an official complaint about it. So don't go into this I mode, go into this we mode. That could be a new culture setting up in the organization.
Break through this culture.
Yes. Accept that this is a behavior or incivility at workplace. Okay, so go into this acceptance mode. Right? I think we are in a new era where people are more open, transparent, but that doesn't mean you have a right to judge the person. Yes, yeah. Go with an acceptance. இதை எனக்கு tolerate பண்ண முடியுமா? Is there an acceptance for me? If you think, don't go into this excuse. Am I being oversensitive? Am I the one who's got rejection? The rest of all seems normal. No, we all come with a different culture. We all come with a different upbringing. In a workplace environment, if such a respect is not gained, then it's a challenge. So it starts with you.
இப்போ ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் எடுத்துக்கங்க, சில sexual harassment சரி, assaultum சரி, it happened for a long term.
Yes.
Okay, there are many times it happened like for a long time. You don't react to it. But for instance, if you are in an MRT or LRT, that is on the minute of a things, it's also called happen.
Yes.
Okay. Most of the time we don't deal with it. We just walk out, right?
Yes.
Okay. But the one that going through for a long term, that is a big pain.
Yes, absolutely. Some situations are within control.
Yes.
Some are not within control. But at a workplace, it's very controllable. I'm not saying that you take charge of it. I'm saying you can be a support to make a difference. Taking the first step, talking to the person, and doing the necessary step is vitally very important. And here that I would say support from the friends or work colleague is highly important. Because the thing is, the moment there is a discomfort or I'm quite sure somebody else will notice about it. Well, probably even it's up to you to even go up and speak about it. I think I am not feeling comfortable about it. So the biggest support is helping your friend, encourage her or him. Go and make a report about it. Go and confront the person about it. Because you do not want to succumb to such a culture at workplace.
ஒரு ஸ்டாஃப் வந்து already sexual harassmentல வந்து பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறாங்க. Okay. There's another new employee came. Okay. And then she started facing these issues. How do you think that person can actually help this person to voice out? I mean, of course, avangale voice out pannala. When let's say most of the time we have this culture of go and tell our fellow colleagues first, hey, this happened to me, I don't know how to react to it. Okay. How these two people can get help?
Okay. Support is what is highly required here. Support another person must actually motivate them to tell them, go and speak about it. Okay. That is the first. And secondly is the support must become, the person must understand we don't want to have such a culture in the workplace environment. And also we don't know, most of the time the victim won't know whether this person is only behaving to you like that or whether that person has behaved with a few other people like that. So, if you think you have failed talking to the person and telling the person, I'm not feeling comfortable, then the thing is, you also want to be sure you don't set this as a culture in the workplace. Only if you make a report, then the relevant department can say, okay, this is a repeated behavior of the offender, or this is a first-time behavior of the offender. In many situations we have heard in the past, it is a repeated behavior. That means that
Most of the
person,
time, yes.
most of the time that offender is comfortable because that offender probably thought it's okay, nobody will make a report about me, or the offender probably would have thought as well, well, this is the culture of the workplace.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, it's back to you. Are you okay to be part of this culture? Do you want to be within this culture? Well, the option is you either go and make a report and get yourself out so that the offender can be reprimanded, or you start saying this is the culture of the organization and I'm okay with it. So it's individual. Again, whatever how the question is being asked or told, it's back to that person. Are you comfortable? Are you okay with it? You know,
How actually he chose his victims? How you know, okay, this is the right candidate to do that?
Generally, they don't choose a victim. It's more of trial and error.
Okay.
Yeah, if you respond positively, then he thinks it's a positive sign. If you don't respond, I just move on. Or the offender could also be in a situation, he thinks it's okay to behave like that. So he thinks that this is my style, this is the culture that I want to be within, and to him or to her, that is not incivility. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. So generally, they don't really choose a victim. I would say they are just insensitive to the social radar. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yes, very happy to say there are many organizations are calling us now to speak about the issue of sexual harassment. This topic is coming under incivility at workplace. And over the last 2 years, I would say from the past, there has been high rate of organizations calling in to speak about this matter, to address this matter, and how actually to handle the matter. But generally, in-house organizations are already asking for programs of such now. When we speak about incivility or workplace, there are many other areas. Could be rudeness at workplace, could be gossips, could be this culture issue that we're talking about. They are looking the issue of incivility at a much more serious level. More so is because a lot of people work long hours in an organization. So as you said just now, it's becoming a second home.
Yeah.
For some people, it's also a first home.
Yeah,
Spending most of the time.
Some of them is like a. I feel like, you know, for instance, for doctors, their home is hospital
Exactly.
is their home. Their
Yeah.
square space is their home.
Yes.
You know, and most of the time, this are stuff it's happening in there, right?
Yes.
So yeah, they need to protect the first home.
Yes.
So how do they get all the information and make that home a sweet home?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, many organizations are doing programs in this area now, more so to educate the employees, so that they be in an environment they are comfortable. Because whenever there's an incivility at workplace, many things happen. Rudeness at workplace happens. Performance of the employees are also dampened. This is where actually gossips will happen. Many other performance level will also drop. Whenever there's an incivility, people will say it's okay to come late, because you know why? There is a fear. If I come early, there is an offender, person who has offended me is there. Okay, so then they will think that it's okay if I don't come to work. It's okay if I take a medical leave. I need to take more leaves for the day. There will be a poor performance from that person itself. So, end of the day, the person who's suffering out of this, it is the organization. And some people who has been sexually harassed, who are so shy to come forward, they will just leave the organization.
Yes.
They think going somewhere else would be better.
Yeah.
I mean, why not even handle it at this point of time? Understand there has been a situation, accept that you could have been a victim, or you could possibly be a victim. Before even you be a victim, you could possibly be a victim. Make a stop. Accepting is the first thing. Disqualifying, this is the culture of the organization, is the second thing. Being able to speak and have a support system. That means if you know your friend is going through such a trouble, encourage him or her to go forward.
Help them.
Help them, because workplace needs to be civilized, because you need to understand there is respect. Mutual respect is highly needed in a work environment. That is the only way it will be a very, I would say that, happy work environment, Yes, and not a hostile environment. Yes.
Jival, thank you so much for all the information that you shared with me today. Hopefully this information will benefit to the viewers who are going to watch this. I'm sure for those who are having these issues, and if you have, if you need a help, that you always reach out to, or you always can find her in Facebook and try to reach out to her and get some information what to do after that.
Okay.
Do you have anything to share with the viewers?
Yes, I do. Well, to all of you, we all spend a lot of hours at workplace, and it's very important that you need to be in an environment where you are comfortable and be respected. And respect is something that has to be mutually accepted at any level, whether you are at a senior level or whether you are at the management level or whether you are at the ground level. So it's important that we are always in a comfortable environment. So if you are succumbed to an environment where you felt or you think you are being sexually harassed, take the necessary action. That is a culture of incivility, and you do not want to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you once again. Let's inspire and inspire. Thank you so much.
Thank you.